How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to be showing you how to make acid techno / trance like Kiki and Marlon Hofstad. Kiki's rise has been absolutely catastrophic. She's been playing fucking gigs everywhere. She even did a 5-hour set. I mean, to be honest, I couldn't think of anything worse. 5 hours, I'd literally claw my eyes out. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of DJing, to be honest. But yeah, anything more now, I literally want to kill myself. Anyway, that aside, bang, straight into the video. So yeah, this is a preview of what you'll have made by the end of this video. Cheers. The acid line kind of reminds me a bit of the film Blade, you know, the opening scene with all like the fucking zombies, not zombies, the opening scene with all the sort of vampires and they're like fucking drinking blood from the ceiling. It's kind of that sort of vibe, isn't it? Acid techno trance, whatever you want to call it. I know there's people going to be crying in the comments like, oh, it's obviously fucking trance, oh, it's techno, oh, I literally don't give a shit. Anyway, so I'll show you how it's made. I'll start with the acid line because that's probably the best bit. So yeah, we're in the key of F minor. Obviously the bass is playing around the F, just going up and down the F. But yeah, the lead starts on the D flat, which is the 1, 2, 3rd, 5th, which starts on the 6th. Plays down to the C and finishes on the F. The important thing with this is that it's quite simple. It all follows the same pattern, so this is also the same as this, the same as this. And you've kept this nice sort of breather at the end, because a lot of the time in production we want to do all 4, right? But imagine it like, just like give it a rest, do you know what I mean? So it's sometimes nice to have a little breather. And that gives like the bass line its own little time here, you know? Or you could put in like a vocal and shit like that. Anyway, let's have a look now at the sound and how it's made. So, of course, we're in Serum 2, the best synth ever made. If you've not got this synth or plug-in, then I don't know what you're doing in your life. You might also just close your laptop and open up Excel or something, you know? It's like the essential this day and age. Anyway, so Serum 2. This is a preset for my Techno Volume 1 Serum preset pack. This pack is perfect if you want to make techno like Eli Brown, Kiki, Lily Palmer, Amelie Lenz, and many, many more. The link for that is in the description. There's also a techno drums pack, which you can get separately, which has all like drum samples, loops, and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely check that out. The link for that is in the description. Anyway, so the sound itself, we have just a default shape, it's basic saw wave. The main sort of parameter you want to focus on is this filter. So obviously a lot of time we're making bass, leads, we focus on like the M, G low 24s, all this sort of stuff. With this, we've gone for a band 12, and then we've boosted the res, so you're sort of catching that peak. This envelope is then controlling that cutoff, so we've got it at 92 and then added 26%. And yeah, you can play around with this. Well, I've just added that as a macro. Moving this decay. Yeah, that is pretty much it. Then we come to the effects. You've got this distortion, which, as you can hear, it's having a lot of effects. So gone for a sine shaper. It's like really heavy distortion, as you can see the sort of shape of it. Cool, so apart from that distortion, we've then got this hyper, and we've got dimension all the way down, but then the hyper. Running through this unison of 4. Bit of reverb. Bit of delay, just to add a bit of like movement. And an EQ, taking out some of the mid end. Without the effects, it's not going to sound right. So you'll probably, if you just followed the first step, you'd be like, it sounds like shit, right? You've got to add all these effects to make it sort of acidy. Cool. And yeah, that is how the sound is made. Let's now move on to the bass. So it's a nice sort of classic rolling bass, right? The notes are just this. But then for the second half, I pitched up an octave. So they're both just on F, but one's going up and down. And yeah, I've got this side chain on it. So these first notes, because of the sidechain, aren't hitting very much, but if you get rid of them, you're going to notice they're missing. This makes it a little bit more gritty, right? Cool, so if we have a look at the sound design, so we've got the S2 analog ARP 2000, which is just like an old classic synthesizer. Bit of white noise, and then it's pretty much been controlled by this envelope, so we kept that nice and short. And then envelope 2, which is also nice and short, a little bit shorter, dragged onto the cutoff. MG load 24, A, B noise selected. I mean, you can unselect B, doesn't matter. Then we've got that to 37 and upped it to 42%. You can go more extreme, but because we've got that acid lead, we don't want too much high end from the bass. We want to sort of sit below that lead, give the lead some space. Effects, got a bit of distortion, and just this utility making the bass mono. Yeah, this is also from that same Techno Volume 1 pack. As I said, the link for that is in the description. It's a pretty simple bass line, to be honest, but sometimes simplicity is key. Great, and let's move on to the drums. This is what they sound like. So very lively, as you can hear. There's a lot of layers going on, and I'll run you through them all now. These drums, you can get this full loop from the Techno Volume 1 drums pack. But yeah, I'll show you what's going on, because yeah, as I said, there's a lot of fucking layers. Great, so firstly there's this kick. Just hitting on every beat. Really crunchy. Then we've got this hat. On the off beat, another hat. Panned all the way to the right. Another hat panned all the way to the left. This gives it a nice bit of width. It's quite a simple track, so you really want to make the drums filled out. Then we've got this clap. Then this big clap with like loads of reverb coming from the send channel. So on the send channel here, we've got this just standard reverb. Copy the settings, and I've mixed it in with this here. Cool. So with the rest of the track, you can hear it's not quite all there. So I've got this top loop with some shakers in it. Then I've got another shaker loop with the velocities going up and down. Bit of sidechain on it with the kickstart, and I've also got this wider, so as you can hear, it's making it a bit wider in the mix, so more spatial, whatever you want to call it. I've got a bit of reverb on it as well. Then I've got this other shaker, which is like kind of retarded. But with this, I've got the velocities going up and down and all around. So it's sort of more lively and sounds like a robot. But in the context of the mix, it really helps to bring it to life. They've got this ride. Just a standard up-down ride with a bit of kickstart sidechain. But yeah, if you get rid of these layers, it sounds a bit dead, right? Let's play it with the rest. Sounds alright, but it's not like bang in your face. You add this. Yeah, that is the track. I hope you learned something new. Please follow along on this channel because I'll be doing way more techno content. Thank you very much. I'll see you next week for another video. Cheers.